Hi everyone, in this video lecture we will be discussing about the UML use case diagram. So what's the purpose of use case diagram? Use case diagrams are actually dynamic in nature, and we must represent some of the factors that makes interaction, and these factors may be internal or it can be external also, and we call these internal and external factors as agents. Okay, and so generally a use case diagram will consist of actors, that means the agents which makes the interaction. It can be internal or external factors, then use cases and the relations between these use cases and actors. That is what a use case diagram. Now what's the purpose of a use case diagram? So these are the main requirements of a use case diagram. The first thing is it is used for gathering the requirements of a system. Okay, and it is used to get an outside view of the system, how the system will work internally, who are the actors, how are they related to each use cases, what are the requirements of the entire system. These are the things a use case diagram represents. It identifies, as mentioned just now, it identifies the external as well as the internal factors that interacts inside the system. Then it shows the interaction among the requirements and actors. So this line is again a repetition, that is, it is used for gathering the high level requirements of a system. Once the requirements of a system are gathered, we will define the functionalities. We will capture the functionalities in use cases, and then we need relevant use cases. Then we need actors. Okay, actors are those people, or we can consider actors as those things that interact with use cases. Okay, and actors can be human beings, or it can be an application, or it can be some internal or external applications. It may not be human beings itself, it can be an application also. Whoever interacts with a use case are defined as actors. Before we draw a use case diagram, we must have the following items. First of all, the functionalities to be represented as use case. That means in use case diagram we represent functionalities as use cases. Then we must have an idea of who are the actors that we are going to represent in this use case diagram. Then we must define, or we must know, how these actors and use cases are related to each other. All these three factors, or these three factors, are drawn together to form a use case diagram. Now, similar to the guidelines that we have seen for drawing a class diagram, we have similar guidelines for use case diagram also. First of all, the name of a use case is very important. We must name it by something meaningful name. Then all the actors must be also given a meaningful name. Then the relations and dependencies must be clearly mentioned in the diagram. And we should not include all types of relations, because the main idea of use case diagram is to gather the requirements. So we must limit the number of relations that we are going to represent in the use case diagram, and we can add our own notes or explanations wherever it is needed, so that it becomes easier for someone who looks at the diagram to understand the diagram. This is an example for use case diagram. Here the same picture, the content is same, that is, here a customer is placing an order, and what happens, or how the placement of order works internally. That's what we have drawn in this use case diagram. So here customer is the one who is acting, is the actor who is behaving, or is relating, or is having relations with the use cases. So here functionalities are, or the use cases are, order and their subclasses, special order and normal order. So you can see this square boundaries. This is the system boundary because all these things happens internally and the customer is standing outside the system. That is why we have drawn here this square boundary here, this line. We have enclosed this order, special order and normal order in a square because that shows the system boundary, because the customer is standing outside the system. He placed the order, then depending upon what kind of order he have ordered, whether it is special order or normal order, the remaining things happen. And see how we have shown the relationship. We know that this special order and normal order are subclasses of class order. So we have used the extends. Extends stands for inheritance. So we have mentioned it as extends here. That is the extends relationship which is used for representing the inheritance. So this is how we draw a use case diagram. I hope it's clear to you. That's all in this video. We'll continue with the next topic in the next video. Thank you so much.